Hey Aussie gamers, Lucas here, and today I've got something for you from the news. Well, first things first, Merry Christmas. I'm recording this video on the 25th of December, so to those that enjoy this day and celebrate it, Merry Christmas. To those that don't, well, I don't know, enjoy your day off. But I've got some sad news for you coming from the country known as Russia. Now, the information I've got suggests that a 44-year-old man has fallen onto a glass table to his death after suffering severe cuts to his body, causing him to bleed to death. Now, you might be thinking, Lucas, have you gone mad? You may be right, but you're also thinking the question of why am I telling you about this? There's a man dead in Russia? Okay, big deal. This piece of news is interesting because of the unusual way that this man has died. Preliminary reports have suggested that the 44-year-old man was walking around in his apartment using a virtual reality headset. Now, because he wasn't able to see his surroundings, this said man has fallen over onto a glass coffee table. There's a little bit of creative license there. It says it was a glass table. I'm assuming it's some sort of coffee table. Otherwise, why would you be playing virtual reality around, I don't know, maybe a kitchen table? I don't know. But anyway, this man has fallen onto this table, which has essentially shattered, and he's fallen onto it, and the pieces of glass have cut him and have presumably cut some vital veins or arteries in his body, and he bled out and died. Now, the body was first discovered by the man's mother, who went to visit him and found him deceased, unfortunately. What a horrible, horrible thing to occur to anybody. Now, this sort of thing always sort of kicks off some knee-jerk reactions, and there's probably going to be a whole bunch of new warnings that come out when you're playing a virtual reality game. But really, do we need to be, I don't know, babied so much? I guess the answer to that is yes, because people do die doing these things. But, and look, with all due respect to the person involved in this news article, I don't want to take anything away from the sadness of that. But these are kind of like Darwin Award things. We need to be taking care of ourselves. We need to be living in a world where we take a little bit of the blame ourselves, and we can't just fix it by asking somebody else to do something about it. The VR didn't kill this man. The man's careless actions killed him. So like I said, I don't want to take anything away from the tragic accident that occurred, but we can't really go crazy and start going, VR needs to be banned, it's dangerous, people are going to kill themselves. People will kill themselves doing anything if you give them half a chance. Say, for example, if you're playing PlayStation VR or some sort of wireless VR on the 18th floor of a particular building and you walk out onto the balcony, you're an idiot. If you want some advice from me, I'm somebody that plays virtual reality games. There's two ways to play VR, and if you want to do it outside of these two different ways, then look, go ahead, but do it at your own risk. You can't see what is going on in the world around you while you're inside a game. The immersion is so intense that you will actually feel like you're in a game. The immersion is so intense in these VR games that I actually was playing a game where there was a table in front of me and I wanted to put the controller down. I was holding, I think it was a DualShock 4 controller, and I went to put that controller down and I almost dropped it onto the floor because there actually was no table there. That's the kind of immersion that you get from PlayStation VR. You really need to be careful with that kind of stuff. Like I was saying, there are two different ways that I think are the way to play VR, and if you go outside of these ones, well, you're doing it at your own risk. And number one is sit down on a chair. Use a swivel chair so you can swivel around easily, and that way you won't lose your balance and fall over. Simple as that. Number two, standing, don't move. Stand on the spot, rotate if you need to, but don't walk. Don't deviate from where you're standing, because no matter how long you've lived in that house, I've lived in my house now for over 10 years. No matter how long that you've been living there, you will not know the layout when you're immersed in VR. It's just, it won't happen. It's impossible. There's my tips. Call them Lucas's hot 2 tips for staying alive while playing virtual reality games. So there you go. Sad news on Christmas Day. I don't actually believe this occurred on Christmas Day, but the news item has come across my table today, and I thought I would share it with you guys. Let me know what you think. If you've got some suggestions, some stories that you may have heard, or anything like that, be constructive, be interesting, be a part of this video, be a part of this YouTube channel. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, and check us out on Facebook. We've also got a weekly podcast that we would love you to start listening to, and we'll have episode 200 for you early 2018. But once again, I am Lucas. Thank you very much for watching this video, and until next time, I will see ya.